Hey guys, Rob from Ultimate Diesel Tuning. Well, today I want to talk to you about the new Toyota Land Cruiser 79 series. And as you can see, this is a 2024 V8 Land Cruiser. And one thing you'll notice straight up front that's different about it is obviously the front looks cosmetically different, but it also doesn't have the air intake on top of the bonnet. This new model, the 2024 model, has the air intake here at the front of the bar, which is very similar to the 200 series where the air comes in here, and I'll show you when I lift the bonnet, and goes up under the bonnet and down onto the intercooler. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about with the importance of having airflow to your intercooler and keeping those intake temps right down is this is a good example of a new 2024 model with no bar work on the front of it. As we see with a lot of 70 series, they have bar work and they get lights put on the front. What potentially could happen, and you've got to consider this when you're choosing your bull bar, is that the bar is not going to block the airflow to this part of the front of the vehicle, which is going to capture all that airflow to the intercooler. The other big thing that could happen is if you do put spotties here and potentially they're blocking both parts of that intake, it's going to be an issue. So really important, I definitely will be recommending a lot of our customers who do have the new model getting the fan kits fitted to them. We fit to a lot of the 70 series and 200, but let me show you under the bonnet. Firstly, the bonnet hook is up the top here, no longer down the bottom. These are the two ducts that go down onto the intercooler, which are forced through this paneling here onto the intercooler. With the previous model 79, it did have a bonnet scoop. What that does help is the hot air getting out through the bonnet scoop in the middle of the bonnet. I refer to heat soak. Heat soak is generated from the engine temperature and rising through the engine bay. So there's a number of factors that cause the heat soak to happen. The first biggest one is the exhaust and the turbocharger. They're glowing red hot. They generate a lot of heat. Hot air rises and it'll congregate around the top part of the engine bay where your intercooler is. So you want to make sure you can get as much airflow to that intercooler. That's why I mentioned those intercooler fans when you're doing low speed, not getting a lot of airflow onto the intercooler can work extremely effective to bring those temperatures down and getting the airflow onto the intercooler. So guys, in summary, just want to make sure that when you're going to choose your front bar, you're choosing the right bar for your vehicle, not restricting airflow to the most critical parts of where the vehicle's engine needs cooling. So with the 200 and the 79, make sure this front part is not getting blocked. So guys, cooling is really important for any vehicle to ensure you're not blocking up that airflow to those critical parts that do cool down the engine. So it's not just a 79, 200 series, it's any vehicle. When you're putting modifications on the front of it, you need to make sure that you're not blocking it up and restricting that airflow to the parts that cool your engine down.